AITA for refusing to pay the full amount to replace a laptop my child and dog destroyed? My husband's cousin is our house guest this week while interviewing for a job in our city. We have 2 kids, 4 and 6, and a black lab. Cousin is on East Coast time and gets up early. Sits at the kitchen table with his laptop and a cup of coffee where the Wi-Fi is strong. Wi-Fi is shorty in the guest room. Until the rest of us get up. But he kept leaving his laptop open on the table when he would go upstairs to get ready for the day. The first time, I moved his computer to a safer area and told him not to leave it on the table because the probability of something being spilled upon it is high. The second time, I moved it and reminded him of the dangers. The third time, I moved it but didn't say anything. The fourth time, I just left it there while rushing around trying to get the kids to dance class. The 4-year-old was eating a bowl of cereal at the table. Ate half of it and got up from the table without clearing her dishes. Along comes Fatty the Labrador and flips the bowl of cereal and begins to slurp off the table like a pig at his trough. Milk landed on the open keyboard and caused a short. Obviously, we have some culpability in the damage, so I offered to pay for half. Cousin was, in my opinion, adequately warned of the danger and failed to protect his shit. He thinks we should pay 100%. I stood pretty firm on this and now it's very awkward in the house, but his flight home is tomorrow. Husband wants to just pay the full amount to keep the peace, but I think that's unreasonable. Am I an asshole for not taking full responsibility for his ruined laptop? ETA. Fatty the Lab read this post and is positively aghast at some of your comments. How dare you insult a senior citizen? I showed husband and cousin this post over the dinner I served at the dog slobbery table. We're all good. Cousin was very gracious after the initial shock of his shit being destroyed by our carelessness. We will pay half. He is comfortable with the arrangement. I'm definitely an asshole, but it has nothing to do with his laptop. NTA. I'll admit your title had me ready to say your ta. But as you said, he was adequately warned. He chose to ignore those warnings. I consider you offering to pay part the right thing to do. Assuming you can afford it. But not necessary. Especially not with him refusing to pay attention to repeat warnings. He chose to leave the expensive electronics in a location that he was repeatedly warned was an unsafe location. Which means he was informed. And accepted the risk. Edit. Thanks for the awards. Grin. NTA. The risks were not only told to him multiple times. They should have been obvious. Honestly, I think paying anything is generous in this sort of situation. That said, I believe a picture of Fatty is required here per the dog tax. Hey cousin, don't leave your laptop on the kitchen table. The kids and dog will destroy it. Hey cousin, don't leave your laptop on the kitchen table. The kids and dog will destroy it. Hey cousin, don't leave your laptop on the kitchen table. The kids and dog will destroy it. Hey cousin, don't leave your laptop on the kitchen table. The kids and dog will destroy it. Cousin leaves laptop on table. Kids and dog destroy laptop. Cousin. OMG. Exclamation mark. Exclamation mark. Buy me a laptop. NTA. NTA. However, we need photos of Fatty the Lab. To those out there who judge Fatty the Lab, be aware that Labrador Retrievers can carry a pro-opio melanocortin (POMC) gene mutation, where homozygosity significantly impacts leptin signaling. I.e. no, really they are always hungry. Science says so. NTA. You can look at this several ways. And the way you're looking at it is reasonable. It's okay to stand behind your reasoning. just because the cousin doesn't agree. Even if they have some reasonable thought behind their request too, doesn't mean you need to cave. Life is risk. In this moment, cousin felt the consequences of that risk. You don't have to bail them out of it. People are weird. We have all these different opinions about what we should do versus what we could do. Story? My young pup eats best friend's cell phone out of their purse. I panic. Offer to go straight out and replace phone. Friend shrugs shoulders, spends time consoling me, and takes full responsibility for leaving their items where they were well aware wasn't safe. They go buy a new phone. I caught dinner bills behind their back a few times to try and compensate at least a little. Who was the asshole here? IDK. NTA. He left his laptop out. And you warned him multiple times about the risks of it being left out. Actions have consequences. I think it was very generous that you even offered to pay half. Info. Cannot adequately judge the situation without seeing Fatty the hungry lab. Must compare him to voracious lab who would stand on hind legs and chow down from pots boiling on stovetop. Info. Did you know your child had left the bowl before the dog got it or after? There's a concept in the law called comparative negligence. Basically, when someone suffers an injury where multiple parties may share the blame, what percentage of the blame does each party share? In this case, cousin, child, and dog all share in the blame. The parent may as well if the parent was directly supervising the child. A judge would ask questions like, did the cousin know that damage could occur to his laptop if left in that spot? A child might be asked, did you understand you were supposed to clear your bowl, and did you know that the dog is able to eat things off of the table? You might be asked if the dog has ever done that before. Of course, these questions are somewhat tongue-in-cheek, but you get the picture. If I were the judge, I would say cousin bears at least 75% of the blame. And since dogs and children have no recoverable assets, any share of the blame that is directly attributed to them is incollectible. If the parent was in the kitchen, saw a child leave the bowl on the table, and knew the dog had a nasty habit of knocking things off the table to eat them, and still chose to do nothing, I would say the parent definitely gets 25% of the blame. However, if the parent was in another room, or had just brought the dog back from a walk and had no way of knowing that there was a cereal bowl on the table, the parent was not negligent. NTA. You told him 3 times. NTA. He had plenty of warning. NTA. He was told multiple times to take care of his stuff. Is he a child that needs constant reminders? Half is more than fair to me. NTA. I wouldn't have offered to pay anything at all. Paying half is very generous because it was entirely a result of his decisions and actions. NTA. And why is everyone with crappy family so determined to keep the peace when that enables shitty behavior almost 100% of the time? All these posts. Oof. NTA. He was warned and you offered to pay half, which seems fair to me. NTA. But I'll agree with the other posters who said we need a picture of Fatty. NTA. I think offering half was actually pretty decent if you already warned him multiple times and you are doing him a favor letting him stay. NTA. Except for describing your lab as eating like a pig at his trough. Labs have feelings, too. And one's enthusiasm for eating and unceasing dedication to reminding you when you should get out of your chair and make dinner warrants appreciation. After all, if it weren't for your lab, Meals would never be made and you'd all go hungry. He also deserves an extra treat for cleaning up the milk and cereal. As for you, cousin, it's not like your 4-year-old went into his room and got his laptop out of his suitcase and ruined it. After repeated warnings, your cousin left it where he shouldn't have left it. In a house with small children, there was a reasonable expectation that his laptop would be damaged. He should eat 100% of the cost of replacement or repair. You are more than generous offering to pay 50%. NTA. Even offering to pay half after warning cousin several times is more generous than I would have been. When you ignore warnings, you're agreeing to take on any potential risks. And unfortunately he lost also. Has this cousin been staying for free? Maybe offer to pay for the laptop in full if he pays you back for eating your food and using your utilities. See if he feels that that's a fair trade. NTA. Don't pay a cent. My laptop is my responsibility. My gaming consoles are my responsibility. If I leave them and an act of God happens, that's in my, not someone else.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic AITA is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.